it's Guido coming at you with a 100 battle status report. We are done with the BZ-58-2. This review is kind of in conjunction with the 777. As I noted in the other video, I played them more or less in conjunction, one right after the other, and finished them within a fight of each other. Right? I did one and then did the other, and I found them to be somewhat comparable to some extent, at least in so far as a Tier 9 reward vehicle. They were both competent. They're both competent. If I had to pick one, I would say the 777. But what I liked about this one is it just hit harder, which was kind of nice to have that big stick. Instead of a 400 or 440 Alpha, you got this bad boy dropping 520. Right? That can hurt, especially if you start rolling high 500s and 600s for a Tier 9 heavy. That will get people's attention right there. So how did I do with it? Well, I actually surprised myself a little bit towards the end. I brought it up to 61% win rate. I had a really good run at the end. For a long time, I was running 52, 53. In fact, I think I was below 50% right at the beginning. Dropped down for a while, but towards the end, I was really doing quite well with this thing. No complaints at all. Crew-wise, I had a good crew in here. I was 4 skills working on the 5th. Equipment-wise, I have taken the bounty equipment off that I had. Now, I did make a change with this particular tank that I think, actually, yes, I did, I believe. I think I was running, yes, I did. I was running a rammer, bounty rammer. I was running a turbo, no, hardening, and I was running a turbo, I believe, actually, to begin with this thing. And I swapped it up. I swapped it up because the gun handling, even though over here you can see 0.32, which is being affected by the IA right now and the Brothers in Arms. We'll take a look at its standard stats with just 100% crew and no equipment in just a moment. Even though it was nice, I was having trouble with the bloom. It just, when the turret was moving or I was moving, I was getting out sniped and beaten by that. So I really swapped it out. I went with the rammer, the IA. I didn't have a bounty IA left, so I used the regular one, and a vert stab. And once I did rammer, IA, vert stab, I went pure firepower basically at the end of the day. It really started working for me. And I think I credit that for a lot of the late heroics getting up to 61%. And maybe I just got lucky, I don't know. So that's what I had set up. We look at the ammo I was running, and it is somewhat ammo limited, guys. That's not a whole lot, fellas. It's only 30 rounds. So 12 regular with a 250 pen and 15 with a 303. It does struggle a little bit against the heavily armored 10s and some of the 9s, 303. That 300 is that break point for some of those really thick armored turrets that are out there, and that's for a 50-50 or maybe even slightly less if there's any kind of angle on there. So be careful because you're going to need to aim, and you're going to want to try to tame that gun so you can do some of that stuff. That's a little bit odd for a Chinese tank, to be honest with you. All right, let's see. These are cool. They've got the standard large repair kit for free, and I ran food. Fellas, I don't know why, but this thing lit on fire a lot. Right, it's only 100 battles, small sample size, but let me try not to exaggerate. I've showed it in my Miserable Mondays how many fires I've had with this thing. I think I've got another 3 for next week or so to show. I would say in the 60 or 70 battles I did, I was lit on fire 6 or 7 times, easily. And sometimes twice. I don't know. I don't know if it just has a weak fire or a weak fuel tank. Yeah, a couple times I was hitting the back near the engine. Some of the times it was in the front. It was bad. I got lit on fire a lot. So you might consider either a directive or having your guys train for firefighting. You'll notice I just started that. Or simply run an automatic fire extinguisher. But I was doing somewhat try-hard mode, so I went ahead and ran with food with this bad boy. All right. Let's take a look at my stats in it then. 61%. Come over here. 41% battle survived. That's pretty darn good. That's a little lower than the server average, I believe. If we take a look at that, we'll show you in just a minute. Let me find old BZ-58 here. It's 74%, right? So holy cow. I think my setup for the firepower thing helped my hitting my targets. In fact, I know it did. Damage ratio 1.27. Destruction 2.03. Armor use 0.41, which is a little bit disappointing. We'll take a look in the comparison in a minute what this thing looks like with its armor, but its hull just really isn't very good. And the turret for a Tier 9 Heavy is kind of average, right? It's not weak necessarily, but it's kind of average, and there's a couple big turret tumors on top of it, hatches. So really this is okay situational turret armor numbers, somewhere around 0.5, but this is lower, so it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Damage 2159, which is close to my average in tier 9s. And kind of low on the damage, assist damage at the end. It's not a very fast, heavy tank. It's not particularly nimble like the 777 is. The whole traverse is a little bit painful. I did have a 4,900, almost 5,000 damage game, and 5 kills was the best that I did right there. All right, let's have a quick comparison. I'm going to do this with the 777. To be honest, I'm not sure which one of these is going to come out first, but I just wanted to compare the two. Notice that the BZ is dropping that 520 as we talked about. Some less penetration, and it is APCR for the gold round, so less gold penetration, a little bit painful. Gun loading is more than the object, and 14 seconds is a long time, fellas. That's why you're going to want a rammer and food and brother in arms, right? So all those things really tame that a little bit to around, I want to say 11 seconds and some change. -8 gun depression is pretty good. Not bad for a hold down or ridge poking with the thing. 0.35. Now this is no equipment and only having the crew at 100%. So actually there's an IA involved, sorry. So we're getting a little bit of a bonus out of that. Forgot the IA is still sitting. Actually I set this thing up, stand by. Let me make sure I'm not. Okay, good. That is no IA. So 0.35, that's just the crew bonus from the commander being 100%. It does a little bit better in the DPM off the 777, even with the slower reload. Hull armor, 70. Decently angled, but not reliable at all. I mean, yeah, the hull was a bit painful as a, hey, let's be a bully heavy. Some angling and a little bit of luck is about all you're looking for right there. But look at the turret, not bad, 230, but still worse than the 777. We have a 35 top speed, which is why I was running the turbo, bounty turbo earlier, because I just wanted a little bit more speed around there. But honestly, just accept that it's standard tier 9 heavy speed and help your gun out. Because once this high alpha gun starts hitting and pinning, that's when good things start happening for you. Camo on both of these is terrible. And view range at 391. So what do you have with this? A big boomstick, kind of a bad hole, a serviceable turret, and a surprisingly accurate gun, especially if you do the taming and put on the equipment to help yourself with that. Not bad at all at what, 0.32 is what this is showing right here. Plus I don't have the food on there, so not bad at all on the accuracy. You gotta like it. I think that's, nope, there's one other thing I want to show you guys. We'll come over here to the stats like I did with the 777. This dude is one notch below the 777 in win rate. So again, these three, the 777, the 58-2, and the Lorraine, they're all at the bottom of the heap here at the tier 9 heavy. But I'm telling you, it's a solid heavy tank. I'm not telling you it's great. I'm not telling you it's top tier heavy. You would probably rather certainly be in what the concept 1B right there if you had a choice. But it is a competent heavy, and it's fun to slap them with the 520 Alpha. It's a nice little gun if you can get it in position. There's those hatches I warned you about, especially the one as we're looking at it on the right or the left side as you're driving it. That dude, I collected a lot of shots in there, right? That's just like, hey, shoot me, dude. It's not quite American Tuma size, but it's not far off, fellas. And everyone's going to shoot that thing for sure. All right, check out some gameplay. All right, whereas I'm going to call the 777 a fun tank or a good tank, an enjoyable tank, I believe is what I said. I kind of enjoyed playing it. I didn't necessarily enjoy playing this unless you were doing well. Until the end, and I tamed the gun, I started to enjoy it. But what I would more call this is a solid heavy tank, right? It's kind of your stodgy veteran, gets the job done, still hits hard, but isn't really exciting in any other way. That's what you've got with the 58-2. So we're going to hang out here for a little bit. This actually goes on for a while. Standard kind of act here on, we get a little peek by the IS-3. Here on Pilsen, he takes a look. I'm going to try to hit that weak top part of his turret, or maybe that tiny, tiny hatch that he has. The IS-3's hatch is almost indiscernible as you're looking at it. And he's going to want to be shooting my hatch. And that's the problem with this little side scrape action. First of all, the side armor, as you recall, is not that great. And now I've got this hatch sticking out. Good news is the left side hatch is not sticking out as much right there. So theoretically should be a little bit harder to hit. Although you can tell it's just a little bit off here. So it's certainly poking up and over this rubble pile right here. So we're going to hang out here. The 121, this is interesting. That position is okay if people try to cross, But you're sort of trapped where the 121 is on the one column. I don't really recommend it. Watch this. So I take a shot. I'll go ahead and scooch up. There we go. So I miss. We'll back out. So really, I'm sort of glad for him to be there. As long as nobody's YOLOing in and trying to take him on, who cares? Let him sit there and take himself out of the game. I mean, you got to think about that kind of stuff when you're top tier, fellas. You're like, all right, I'm going to take this, cheeky position here. You miss. I'm going to take this cheeky position, and man, if they push, I got him. Well, if they don't, you're sort of sitting there doing a whole lot of nothing. I'm watching the game develop, trying to figure out how I want to handle this. We've lost 3 tanks. They've lost 1. That's not great. I'm a bit worried about the east side of the map. The STB's running around in here, and then he bails out of this. I'm sort of expecting the IS-3 to shoot him, so we'll come out, and whoa, slap. All right, and that's what you got to watch out for, guys. He's probably put a shot in my hatch. It's hard to see. No, I don't know where. Maybe he went into the side of the tank. Maybe he went into the lower plate. Don't know. Sometimes it's hard to find the point. You can download the third-party mod with the hit detector or whatever it is to get that info. All right, so he got me, right? High rolls a 405. He's ahead of me. I bounce another one. Can't quite get to the hatch I want. Problem with that is now he owns the position, and he is fully zoomed in. So if I back out, I'm going to have to try to zoom in because I'm going to get a little bloom because of the movement. So I'd say, oh, there's something going on behind me. This is not good. Let's go ahead and handle this CC Mark 1. The IS-3 pushes in. We'll deal with him later. Doesn't seem to be that interested in it, so we'll come in here. I unfortunately take a shot at the lower plate of the Taurus. I should have absolutely gone for the hatch. Just like I'm about to do. Just wait for him to show us a nice hatch. I do get hit by the Centurion. We thump him. We'll back out. Centurion's got the little pew-pew. Pretty decent penetration on it, but 159, that's fine. I don't want to just sit there and let him shoot me, but I'm not that worried about 180 damage or 180 alpha. We kill the Tortoise with a little bit of help. We lose the Tiger 2. Good. Centurion dead. Holy cow. CC Mark 2 dead. Look at that. You gotta love it. And now we'll turn back around. And all of a sudden, with those 3 tanks dead, and it looks like the guys over on the east side are doing a little bit better. The IS-3 doesn't look interested in pushing. I was hoping to catch the 121 right here, but he sneaks back around the corner just as I come around. STB gets pushing in there, so we're going to try to get in, and we'll thump a shot through the side of the Cressel. Bounce a shot, a little bit of an angle there, right? Just do a little wiggle jiggle. Just try to make that shot worse, and maybe you can bait him into shooting or wiggle him into shooting a highly angled piece. You've seen that, you're trying to aim at a guy and he's wiggle jiggle. Sometimes it's very difficult to get the shot you want. We'll shoot him on the run. There's that gun handling. Catch a 1390 on my side. So I don't want to let him go, to be honest. We can come in here, we'll just finish this guy off. Watch this. Boom. Oh no. It's not that big of an alpha. I don't know what he's doing. He's driving over stuff, trying to get away. I'm trying to get reloaded here. Come on, baby. We got him auto load or auto aim. We'll kill him right here. Boom. No. That's what happens when you have some left to right line of sight. I was wondering what he was doing. Maybe he's just trying to hide, and I'm not sure. What I was wondering maybe is he was trying to bait me to come out and get shot by campers up there, and I don't think they have anybody up there, to be honest, based on where we're seeing all their guys. And now he's going to try to get around me, but we'll just ram him and shoot him at the same time. He really had no choice right there. We're up to 2,300. We've bounced 870. We'll just back out for a reload. I'm kind of looking at the IS-3. Is he going to beat these guys? No, okay. I was a little bit worried the first time I turned around how many hit points he still had and how many guys were around him, but he survives all that. We're going to head this way, and I'm thinking maybe that 155-51 is up in the corner at K1 or so. So I'm going to load up HE. We're going to find that dude, and we're going to nuke him. Or maybe we can even find the Su-130. We'll nuke him. So we'll head over this way. Where is this guy? So I'm gaining altitude. This is sort of asking to be shot by everyone around, but I'm trying to gain altitude so I can maybe get a better shot if he's up in there. I get spotted. I'm like, oh, okay, there he is. Hey, we found the Sioux. All right, don't call me Sioux. Boom. Oh, yes, HE. Are you kidding me? HE came through for me. You gotta love it. 3,041 on a strength of a 717 damage HE shot. You guys should all be proud of me. Rarely do I manage that. In fact, the only reason I did manage it is I was expecting to shoot the Artie up there. I wasn't smart enough to think that maybe the Sioux had repositioned back there and I might get a shot at him. But good on him. He showed me where he was, and we collect another 700 HE damage, and we don't get any more out of this. I believe he's all the way over there. I'll let you watch it. I'm pretty sure he's over at about J9 or so is where they're going to find him. 3,041, there he is. 3,041 damage, 870 assists, 870 blocked, 350 assists, and we end up with 4 kills. Middle tier, so not too bad. You're only ever one tier down with the tier 9, so that's always a good thing. And again, I'm not here telling you this is a great tank. If you're trying to make a decision, you've got coins. There's probably better tanks potentially, but it's certainly not a bad tank. I enjoyed it quite a bit towards the end, and I would, as I said, I would call it a solid tier 9 performer, despite its stats being near the bottom. It's got strengths. It does, and that big boomstick. So tame the gun, use the big boomstick to effect. Don't rely on the whole armor to get you through things. Right? I think it even says it's a breakthrough heavy. It might say that. I don't remember, but be careful. The whole, yes, it's angled, but it's a little bit soft for the breakthrough thing, at least as far as Mongo smash forward by yourself. But use the strength of the turret. Use its gun depression. Be careful about the hatches. Make the boomstick work for you, and you'll have a pretty decent time in the T58 or what BZ blah blah. I don't know. BZ-58-2. That's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. We will see ya.